1,
Two.
3, 4.
Stephen Curry is someone who has always been a role model in my life. Ever since I was a little kid, he's been one of my favorite basketball players, if not my favorite of all time. Stephen Curry he's probably one of the most influential basketball players to ever play the game, ever. He's up there with greats such as Michael Jordan and LeBron James, just from all that he's accomplished throughout his career. I'd like to talk about some of Steph's greatest accomplishments throughout his entire NBA career. Some of his more great accomplishments are things such as his championships he's won, his awards, and how influential he is just on and off the court. One of Stephen Curry's best accomplishments is being a four-time NBA champion. Curry won his first championship back in 2015 on the Golden State Warriors. He was drafted by them, and he still plays for them to this day. This would be the beginning of a dynasty that would just take off forever. They made it back to the championship in 2017 and 2018, and they won both back-to-back years, it rarely ever happens. It's very rare. After that, Curry got hurt. He hurt his ankle. He's always been injury prone since he was younger, even in college, and everyone counted him off. They thought he would never win another one. They thought he was just washed and he was getting old. But in 2022, he proved everyone wrong, winning his fourth NBA championship and finally winning his first finals MVP. Steph has had many team accomplishments, but let's talk about some of his more individual accomplishments that he has. Some of Steph's most important individual accomplishments are winning the MVP 2 times, and he has All-NBA teams and All-Star picks. In 2015, Curry won his first MVP award, which is the most important award in all of the league. It's very hard to happen. You have to have the best numbers and play the best game of your life to ever even become close to winning that award. In 2016, Steph put together one of his best campaigns throughout his ongoing 13-year career. He become the first unanimous MVP ever in the NBA history. Just to let you know how hard that is, that means every single person that voted for him to be MVP voted for him. No one else even got a vote. All of them went to Steph. He did that after he led his team to a 73-9 record that season, which is the best record ever from an NBA team. He would also go on to make 400 three-pointers in that season. That's the most three-pointers ever made in a single season by a player. Steph also has many NBA awards to his resume. He has other ones too. He's been selected to All-NBA 9 times over his career. He's been selected as an All-Star 8 times in his career. In 2022, Steph had one of the best All-Star games of all time. He broke many records. He had 50 points in that game, along with 16 threes, which is a record for most threes in an All-Star game. He broke the record for how many points in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and in the entire game. That would go on to him winning the All-Star MVP award for his first time, which doesn't happen often either. That's very rare, almost as rare as the regular MVP award. Steph will always be an amazing player just through what he's done on the court, but his accomplishments, they're not as important as the influence he's had on just players around the NBA and players in the NBA, and even little kids in the younger generation. Steph has been one of the most influential basketball players of all time. He's changed the way basketball will be played forever and ever, and there's no going back. Before Steph came into the league, three-pointers weren't very common. Most people opted to get it down low in the block and let the big 7-footers score 2 points. It was just easier, and many people couldn't shoot. When Stephen came to the league, though, this changed the way basketball will be played forever. Steph would shoot these crazy shots that had no business even getting in making the basket. It just never should happen, but they would always go in. And young kids would see this and be like, I want to be like Steph. I want to shoot that. So I'm going to go out on my goal and I'm going to practice shooting these shots. So these kids would grow up just going outside after school and shooting these crazy long shots. And the kids now are old enough to be in the league and they all just shoot like Steph because they want to be like Steph. And this is gonna remain the same way for years to come. All these kids around the league just trying to be like Steph. The game will no longer be a short range game. It will forever now be a long range game. And that's all to Stephen Curry. To sum up, Stephen Curry is an amazing role model for many kids around the world, including myself. He has had one of the best professional careers anyone could ever ask to have. Winning 4 NBA championships, to 2 MVPs, to all of his all-star selections, to his all-NBA selections, and being such an influence to all these kids, he will forever be remembered, not just for what he does on the court, but everything he does off the court and inspiring so many young individuals. Thank you.
1,
2, 3,
4,
5.